All right, welcome to this special episode of the Resinator's Conquest podcast. Last Thursday, the Para-Bellum team just in their happy hour, they released the Sorcerer King faction. And so we're going to be watching the happy hour that they did on Thursday. I have not seen it. I have not actually looked on social media at all. I have been very diligent about not looking, so that this could be a surprise for me today. And so let's go ahead and do it. This is going to be a little bit longer video, but the Sorcerer King's revealed. And then there's also some other information in this happy hour that they did on January 11th. Let's get started. Oh, let me get over here. So it should be recording the live screen. So let's see what we got going on here. I'll probably end up having to pause it,
everybody.
but
I would say
that's okay.
We can probably start since it just turned 3 o'clock here, Eastern Standard Time. So welcome everybody. We're very, very excited as we see people joining. We'll stall a few more minutes. I haven't seen Stavro join yet either, so we'll stall a few more minutes for Stavro, unless he's here and I've missed him.
That is one thing about these, that they're always a little late, waiting for everyone to get there.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Konstantinos was here. I knew there was some level of we're going to stop. We're not going to allow that to happen.
I have prepared poetry about Conquest, and
Oh wait, this changes it. This I want to hear.
I have 2 novels and an interpretive choreography prepared for everybody.
The last one, not the novels.
I'm just saying, the April Fool's happy hour needs to be Leo doing lore, Stavro doing rules, and entirely about the Hundred Kingdoms monster. That's it. It's just that.
Oh, Hunter, you little pot stirrer, you. I love
Hey,
that.
pause it real quick. That's been an ongoing question that they've been asked since I'm a Hundred Kingdoms player from the start. They've always been asked if they're going to do a monster in the Hundred Kingdoms, and it's been a no, because they want the Hundred Kingdoms to feel more like, humans. All the other factions are for monsters, and the humans are just there to be human. The Hundred Kingdoms. So.
Well, we are really glad that everyone has joined so far, and I know that if gamers continue to be gamers, most people will show up 5 to 10 minutes late, and they will miss some of the meeting, and then they will go back and say, "What did I miss?" or "I didn't know that." And so that's part of the deal, right? We love that, and so we will start up. We'll start out without Stavro as well. It has to be all about the fish gnomes. Fish gnomes would be a good April Fool's scenario for sure. Yes, indeed.
The fish gnomes is another thing they've been talking about for a while too.
Welcome to the new year. It is our 5th anniversary for 2024. And
Woo! 5th anniversary.
People want to party with us for 2024. I think it's fair to say that all of us are like, wow, 5 years. We made it this far. I have the same amount of hair on my head that I had when I joined the team. I'm not sure the same can be true for Stavro or Konstantinos. However, they may have lost a little bit along the way. Maria, I know, has given up a few hairs along the way.
It's green now.
It's green now, that's right. But we are really excited to talk about a number of things today. We're going to obviously go into some of the road to Heos. I think if you're not aware, it is published on our website how one starts the road to Heos, and Leo's going to take us to that. And
that'll be interesting. I don't know if I'll be able to do it in my area right now, just because there's not a lot of games going on. But
it is the where we start talking about Harry Potter as he ascends the throne, like King Charles just did. And we're super excited to bring to you this novel story.
Daryl, this is my lore. Stop sharing with the Harry Potter stuff. I write for the game.
But that is the Sorcerer King, right? That's who we're talking about. And Queen Hermione, right?
Daryl, I told you that this is my personal stash of lore. I told you not to share with other people. But no.
Oh God, I walk in just as Leandro is defiling my creation.
Well,
Yeah,
we're
we're-
talking about the Sorcerer King and Harry Potter.
We were
ascending
talking
the
about
throne.
Harry Potter, Sandro. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer King. This is what you missed.
Yeah, I think it's the 3rd book, right?
Why you do this to me?
It's almost the point where he says you're a sorcerer, King Harry, and then they go off. They could go.
It's
off
already derailed.
Playing in the world of Conquest.
Isn't that what we planned for today? Wait, hold
And
on,
the
let me look at the
sorcerer-
notes. I think. Oh wait. That's it. Oh, I see. Okay, well, you know what? Why don't we start with the road to Heos, and we'll see if we can pull this together and figure out what we're going to talk
Stavros
about.
leaves.
After all, but as everyone's aware, I hope, anyways, if you've joined this or you've been sleeping, maybe you might not be if you joined late. But 4 days ago, we announced the road to Heos, and we're very excited. This is the beach, not the beach, but one of the beaches from Heos behind me.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm super excited to invite 16 people to come and play on a beach, some Conquest, and to eat some delicious Greek food. And how we get there and how you get there, well, we know how we're going to get there, but how you get there is laid out on our website. And Leo's going to take us through some of the finer points, and then we really want your questions and your thoughts, because I have already talked to quite a few people over the last couple of days who have been like, wait, that's how that works? And so I think because we are doing it somewhat differently than, say, other world championships have been done, we are truly trying to make this a world event. So, Leo, I'll shut up and let you do the talk.
All right, Leo, let's see.
So thank you. I mean, first of all, just to say how just amazed we all are. We are at the point, 5 years after releasing the game, that we're at the point that we're talking about world championships for Conquest and writing that being in reality. So that alone is just absolutely just mind blowing. So I will say a few things about the world tour. Now, this is a complicated, not a complicated, but there's a lot of moving parts, and so the full details of the program you can find on our website. I'm going to go through a brief, let's say, recap of the whole program, and there might be details that we can get into later, or of course, if you find yourself having any questions, our emails are rules at Para-Bellum community Vanguard. They're all they can help you out with questions like this. So, what is the World Tour? It is our take on competitive play, on organized competitive play for Conquest. A big part of our organized play was to come together as a community, and we wanted to provide an opportunity for people that really like to really challenge themselves and play against the best players in the world out there, to get an opportunity to gather around in Heos, in the beautiful island of Heos, and meet us in person and play this.
That would be nice to meet them again. I did get to meet them on two or three different occasions already. They're very nice people,
So,
very, very nice people.
For this season 3, the World Tour will revolve around Conquest: The Last Argument of Kings, but rest assured, coming season 4, we're also going to be having First Blood into the mix.
Finally.
Part, of making sure that this is respected and balanced orgy. So, how do you qualify? In order to qualify, you will be able to play in what we call world events. Now, world events come in 2 types, and both award world points. One is world community events. These are extremely important, as they're driven by the enthusiasm of the local community leaders, and essentially are the ones that shape up how many invitations are going to be out there. The community gets to host them. Your local vanguards, your local store owners, club managers, and so on will be the ones running. Then, of course, we have the officially sanctioned world events. We have things like London GP, Adepticon, and so on. Right, big events where we are directly involved in the planning, or we are directly partnering up with somebody locally. So now, every season you're going to be asked to go and play at these world events, right? Your local community is going to be hosting a number of world community events, and by playing these, you will be gaining world points. World points, very simply, they are provided for the following. They're provided based on placement. If you win first, as let's say, opposed to coming in 4th or 5th, you get a participation bonus. So the more people at an event, you will be getting more points.
That's always good.
And there is an additional bonus for officially sanctioned world events. Now, what if there is no world officially sanctioned event near you? And this is a big conversation, and that will take a little bit of understanding of how the seats are allocated and how invitations are given out. So the world is divided right now into 12 regions. You can find the exact regions of what they entail on our website. And each season, people from all of these regions are going to be hosting community events. As said before, community events are the events that are hosted by your vanguards, your local community leaders. Then, at the end of the season is going to be August 4th, so that is the last day of. We're going to tally the total amount of local community events that have been run across the world, and we're going to compare how many of those each region has done. So let's say if region A and region B, they both did, let's say, 100 out of 1,000, that means they've done 10% of the world community events, and therefore they will be allocated 10% of the seats available at the Conquest tournament in Heroes. For this season, we're going to have 16 seats. That is 16 people that are going to be invited and will join us to play. So, if, for example, if your region was to receive 10% of the votes, that would be 1.6. We would round it up to the closest whole number. Your region would be getting 2 invites. Now, players from that region, from that specific region, right, from the region that it gets invitations, will check the players, in that region that have the most world points for that region. So, for example, if region A has done, let's say,
we really came for this. This is not what we want to watch. Give me a second. Let me cut through this. Boring. All right, fast forward to where they said the time index. Sorry, we fast forward to where the time index says is the Sorcerer King's reveal. So we passed all the road to Heos. That's not kind of what I didn't really want to do that as a reaction. So we moved forward, and here we go. This is going to be the Sorcerer King stuff now.
Because I think everyone is ready for some pretty pictures. Am I right?
Hell yeah!
There we go. All right, so pretty pictures are fun. You are right about that. And, we're going to take you through what's coming up between now and May. Now, there will be a few things that we don't have yet to show you for some reasons, right? Some of them because we're not ready. Some of them because we still want to have some things to surprise you with. But we're very, very excited about our 5th anniversary. We, I'll say it this way. I think we came out guns a-blazing for this year with what we put together. And some of it you guys have seen already. The A-bomb.
Yes.
In case you missed.
Now, this abomination I absolutely love. Now, I didn't really care for the original look, the aesthetics of the Spire in general. Like, I've always said that it's just kind of wasn't my big, I didn't feel it. Especially with the arms the way they looked, and the legs the way they looked, it just, well, at least with Abomination, it just wasn't my thing. Now looking at the way this is designed with the pointed kind of feet that they have and these big old massive claw things, spiky things, I love this. I absolutely love the way this looks. Even the head, they redesigned the head to look just, I don't know, it's more like alien-ish, I want to say, more like the Alien Queen, kind of that big old backplate or head backplate kind of thing. But it's really cool. I love the design of it. And the little tufts he's got hanging off of like the little front area here, little groin area, I guess you'd say, in a man person. So I really like it.
This is the Artisan Series A-Bomb. It's coming in January. I know we talked about it the last happy hour, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But not everyone can hit every happy hour, so I don't want to lose track of this. To me, this is super important. Your City States Companion Cavalry with the Ippocus.
Nice.
You know,
More horses. I love it. Okay, so I was like, wait, is it on a square base? No, it's just got on the stand there on the one on the right where he's kind of up. These are nice. They look kind of like squire horses. They're nice and small, so they're not as big and beefy, but they look like they're on the stand pretty good. I really don't like this one that only has 1 foot down. I mean, that always makes it hard to mount it and keep it mounted. So we'll see. The spears. Let's see. They got this one going long ways. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if it's actually going across his body, because that seems very weird unless you're like blocking. And why would you be blocking with a spear? So, but the other ones, I kind of like that they're going in line with the horse. Two of them are down. This one's up. But nice. I like them. There's not a lot of armor on them though either. That's one thing I've noticed.
I always tease Stavro about how many dudes on horses are we going to have, and he always comes up with a more beautiful and artistic way to create dudes on horses that look better and better every damn time. Speaking of,
Order of the Seal Temple. Ooh.
I mean, like, holy man.
This is kind of what I was thinking they'd be, kind of more that holy regal look. I like it. These will be fun to paint. All that cloth on there. I do like that they did that white, the kind of holy and regal kind of a thing. Their sealed temple. This is where they keep a lot of their secrets. Same with the Ashen Dawn. They kept some of those secrets as well, according to the lore. But I do like the white look. And this is like right in theme with all the other 100 Kingdom cavalry, where they're heavily armored. And you don't see the horse much, except for in the squires. You don't see the horse much, which, if you don't want to paint horses, then cool, these are the kind of horses for you, or cavalry for you.
How do you keep doing this? It's really impressive. And I don't think you can see the close-ups on this one, but the masks are amazing, and you're going to have a ball painting those, I promise. And Leo, Stavro, jump in if I'm going too fast on any highlights around these guys, but I know we talked about them last time, so.
I didn't get to see. Oh, here we go, Sorcerer King.
That's to get to.
Oh, kings. Sorcerer Kings.
I think this is the bit that immediately the little monk.
Are there any questions from before? No? Okay, good. I'll keep going. Thought I would check in. The Sorcerer King.
Ooh.
So no, not Harry Potter.
So here we go. Here's some models. The Sorcerer. Sorcerer here. That's 2 different poses. I kind of like this second one. I'm not sure if that's a sword or like a wand type thing, but I do like the staff here. I like when they have different weapons like this here. Same with this one here, the Maethiarfa. I'm not sure what that says here. I'm sure he'll pronounce it here, but this one's kind of cool. And the Raj. I like that fire. That's cool. And what, these are soldiers? Let's just go through here. Let's let them say it.
Stunning models around our 8th faction, and
these are different feel to them too.
About how they play, while you guys just take in the beauty of these initial characters.
I'll let Leo lead, and I'll just jump in from time to time.
Leo's going to tell all about the lore, just so you're aware.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So
I have his mute button right here.
So, a ton of exciting things, and the Sorcerer King rules are not just coming on their own. They are coming in with an overall update for Atelier K and other factions. Of course, we're gonna right now only talk about Sorcerer Kings, but there are certain systemic changes to Atelier K core rules, and that creates a new, let's say, environment for factions into the game. And this newly founded design space is something that we wanted to fully take advantage with the Sorcerer Kings. So the Sorcerer Kings,
so that means I may end up having to do another rules, start the whole rules thing over again. The rules have been changing so fast because it's still a new game. I mean, this is their 5th anniversary, so I understand the rules changed, but it's hard to keep up with them when you're trying to do videos. But let's continue on here.
You would expect a magic wielding faction bring a brand new spellcasting mechanic into the game. It's called rituals.
Rituals.
Rituals are, let's say, mighty spells that are not just manifesting at the time of casting them. Instead, they are represented with a command card that you put elemental power tokens upon. As time passes by, and think of, let's say, drawing the command cards of your army as a sort of timekeeping device, they charge up, and eventually they reach their threshold. Once they reach the threshold, these command cards now are left to the side, and the next round, when you're making your command stand, you're putting them in. So essentially, they are powerful magics that are activated by drawing a command card, which is a quite new and very interesting way to play with your command stack, without giving you both the tactical flexibility of, let's say, taking a false activation, right? That tactical benefit that you get when you are playing something and your opponent is not, but at the same time, weaving that with a powerful effect. Of course, as you might have seen from some of the things we saw at the previous times, the elements are quite strongly represented here, specifically air and fire. And you're going to notice a very strong theme.
Yeah, fire, you would think.
For now, that you'll notice that all of their spells, all of their incantations, all of their rituals belong to either one of these elements. And these elements.
Oh, nice. The one with the staff. I like that.
Now in your list building. So let's say, in comparison to other armies that may have a more rigid army list building, there are, let's say, troops such as the Efreet or the Djinn, the Efreet belonging to the element of fire and the Djinn belonging to the element of air, that become mainstay to that character depending on let's say, whether they've chosen spells and rituals from the port of fire or from the port of air.
That's cool.
So this is
I like
a very thematic way, to build your war bands.
Very thematic way of doing it.
Of course, this would not be.
You could paint them different too, so
complete, if not without delving deep
and make painting the same models fun.
Rich Eastern mythologies that you'll find, all of these beasts.
I think I'm okay now. I had a coughing fit there.
And monsters of legend really, having the rules they get reflected on that. So we're just extremely excited, and I can't wait for Daryl to show more so we can see.
Are we ready for more? I was doing the zoom ins on these two.
Okay, you see me here? Oh, you are showing.
There we go.
So this is the Sorcerer. The Sorcerer is the character that focuses. That focuses for.
It looks kind of like a wand.
In TLUK, it focuses more on the synergy between the ports of fire or the fire and air, depending on which one you've selected, and those mighty creatures belonging to them. So it's all about reaching those far corners of the battlefield using let's say, residents of the same element as conduits. For First Blood, we've went with a different approach based on the same thing of playing with the elements, and we've shown we've shown the golds, which are these creatures found in the very Salvador, don't murder me if I say it wrong, but found, let's say, commonly within the surface, let's say, of the elemental realms, and they're able to think of them as elemental puppet masters, essentially, which is a very cool dynamic and is really explored.
I really like this pose here with her hip out. I think that's kind of a unique feature that people don't do as often as they should, especially with a female form. It's really nice to kind of see that kind of attitude with that. I like it.
So one of the key design elements, as we had mentioned when we were discussing the creation of the Sorcerer Kings, was bringing to life a more fantastic take on Conquest. Until now, you have seen very grim, gritty. We've tried to portray as realistic a version of fantasy as you can have. The Sorcerer Kings start introducing and open the door for the more esoteric
Rajakir.
Of these events, of these
Ghouls.
parts of the world.
Sweet, I gotta stop this and look at this here. Hold on. These ghouls, you're right. These looks really simple compared to some of the other stuff that they have designed with all the pieces on them. These are very simplistic. I like these shields though. I like actually their whole attire. It's funny too. So these Rajakir look a lot like, I 3D printed some Sakari for the 100 Kingdoms, and they looked a lot like these, except for they had blades instead of these maces. But I really love these maces. They are just, it's, you can have the same thing over and over and over again where you have swords and axes and stuff like that, but it's nice to see a regiment with maces. That's really cool. All right, let's keep on. Continue.
And this is one of the key aspects that you're going to see playing again in the higher rituals, in the fantastic troop types that you can just see the beginning of the goals here. Daryl, can you by any chance eliminate the faces on your screen and possibly maximize the presenting screen?
You gotta eliminate everything.
Hiding the message, the chat will help, possibly.
Click.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the chat?
Yep.
Oh, you weren't supposed to. It's supposed to be just that window. Sorry.
No, we're seeing your entire screen.
Oh, that's weird. That's not supposed to be that way. You're supposed to only see the catalog. All right, bear with me 1 second. Hold, please. I'm selecting window, not screen. That is very strange. All right, bear with me. I'll try to figure out why it's doing that delightfulness. Thomas, you have a question while I'm figuring this out.
Yeah, I was wondering, will the miniatures be distinct by which subfaction they belong to? Like, are the sorcerers or sorceresses, are they part of the elemental courts or the enclaves?
So the all sorcerers, Maharajas, belong to the to one of the courts. As Leo mentioned, there are two courts that are currently represented in the world, and that's the Court of Wind and the Court of Fire. That is because they are the, let's call them, not necessarily the most not necessarily expansionistic, but the most outward and the most inquisitive. Mm-hmm. Water and earth. Earth is more conservative. It has stayed in their home continent, and water is the diplomat, and in order to maintain the balance of power, has sided with Earth. So you are going to start seeing Earth and fire. Sorry, fire and air.
Fire and air.
But they will eventually expand into obviously water and earth as well.
I like the pointed helms too. They're pretty cool.
And we'll be doing Earth, Wind, and Fire as one single.
Those look like they're going to be a pain to paint, though.
Is this Daryl doing Avatar references? Did this happen?
Daryl, can you scroll down on the goals a little bit?
I can. Everyone mostly is telling me they're only seeing the catalog, so I'm a little confused. I think maybe you have your chat open.
No. I'm literally, I am watching only your, maybe, hold on, because I am watching it through Twitch.
That's weird.
So that lowers it a little bit more, but okay.
I have other pictures too. Hold on. I'm going to show you more pictures.
There we go. So what you're seeing here are the Rajakur infantry, who are basically elite troops of the Sorcerer Kings. Basically, they are the enforcers of the Sorcerer Kings and also their main troop type. Incredibly loyal, incredibly well equipped. And they are basically the backbone of the army because they protect your sorcerers.
The Ifrit, I think these are.
The other troop type that you're seeing are the ghouls. These are basically beings from the shallow ends of the domain of fire. This is one of the things
Oh,
we're
they're
introducing
fire
to lore,
ghouls?
the concept of domains, which is, for lack of a better term, we'll call them planes for now. But as we deepen the lore, you're going to find out exactly what domains are. And the Sorcerer Kings have access to the 4 elemental domains: earth, air, fire, and water. The goals are on the very shores of the Sea of Fire, which is the domain of fire. They are almost, in a way, like the
There
scum
you go.
of the water.
Those are cool. Yeah, see, those are going to be a pain to
The,
paint, but they'll be
Sea of
look
Fire.
cool.
Apparently,
That's exactly what I
much
would do with
like
them
it
too.
affected
Do the
the
2 different
gods,
tones of metal.
Human emotion and human thoughts are also infecting the elemental planes.
Looks cool. I like it.
And
They're
now we're
clean.
showing the Resinator, not the other guys. But the ghouls are basically the weakest of the elemental beings that have been infected by humanity, and they're these avaricious, aggressive, weak creatures that like preying on those weaker than them, which
The stand
in
looks
the domain
bent.
of fire is basically nothing. But that's how they can be enticed out into the prime domain. And that's how they are basically used as shock troops and fodder by the Sorcerer Kings. So I noticed the elemental ritual cards will be present in the characters that can use them and can access them. And if you lose
I like how they have the leaders
it-
sitting on the
it-
side,
it
not in a
command,
stand.
sets.
That's funny.
The army support packs.
The army support packs, thank you.
That way, when you're searching on the eShop, you know how to find them.
Yes. You'd think I'd know the official names.
Mine
of
too.
products.
They're small.
Oh my god. Sorry, guys. Brain
They're all
equals
good.
Um,
That's my job, to make sure we keep on the commerce side of things too.
yeah, no. So we are very excited to showcase an army with a Middle Eastern and Indian aesthetic, which to date has not really been done in a fantasy game. And I think that so far the artists and the sculptors have nailed the artistic direction.
But wait, there's more.
Yes. Let's see what else they
These are
got.
my favorites.
Ooh.
The
Ifrit sword dancers. This is what we were talking about earlier. Ifrit. Oh. Those are kind of cool. And now I see what they're talking about. The more fantastical elements. These are like djinns. Oh, that's cool. Flamecaster and sword dancers. That's going to be the air and the fire. So it looks like they use the same kind of aesthetic on both the bottom parts where it's kind of being summoned. It's more like, I guess, a smoky look. I guess you could change them to different colors for the different air and fire, and when they come out with their different sub-factions too.
I think are just stunning.
Yeah. Born Aflame, as is, it's literally their special rule. Say tongue-in-cheek pun there. It's you'll find
Oh, see, this is going to be a dual.
In either one of these versions will become the mainstay of your army.
A dual kit.
Depending of what each a character in each format selects in terms of.
That's why they look the same, because they are the same top and bottom. I mean, the bottoms are the same. I think they just changed the head and arms,
Can
maybe.
we say a little bit? Let's say, can I throw a little bit of what they may be doing?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, if free flamecasters, I'm only going to say whereas 14 inches torrential fire with the ability to place an infernal marker until the end of the round. If an enemy regiment was a target of a volley action from this regiment, friendly spellcasters targeting that regiment with a spell from the Court of Fire count as having rolled one additional success to cast that spell. So, not too expensive in terms of points. Their stats are kept fairly reasonable, and that is for you to be able to build armies that are beautifully themed out of fire. If you want to build a fire, beautifully.
That's what I want to do. Fire.
So
fire
we
army.
treat them more as main, let's say, frontline troops, giving them interesting abilities, but not taking it to the point that they would be considered elite, and therefore you would have to only use a few of them. So I think you will be appreciating the balance. But of course, this has to be countered by the bloodlust of the.
I still have to say I like that the aesthetic of a genie, you know, a djinn or a genie. They've really fit that aesthetic for it, so I really like that.
Of the Efreet sword dancers, but with a good resolve stat and good.
It just makes me think of Arabian Nights or something. So
Enough offensive abilities to make up for it.
Any notes I should be talking about here? I think we're in pretty good shape, so I'm going to keep going to the next group, the Steelheart Djinns and the Windborn Djinns.
ooh,
Another absolutely stunning group.
these are actually djinns. So these are female. Wow, they look almost lizard-like. I don't know about the steel heart. They look okay. There's just nothing screaming to me like cool and awesome. I think their head little things are a little dorky, but that's just my opinion. But oh no, that's the Windborn. Sorry, the Windborn. The Steelheart, I actually like them, especially this pose in the middle, where she is really aggressive, like ready to swing that. I forget what those are called. The pole sword. I forget what they're called. Yari or I don't know what it's called, but I really like that pose in general. The other poses, they're decent. It's just that one, just for some reason, there's something about that one, especially like her whole arm right here and shoulder, the way it's kind of like protruding out. It really feels like she's really trying to swing and like getting this really aggressive like swing going down on it. I don't know. There's something about that pose I really like. The other two, though, I like this other one on the left too with the hair and like the two long braids. I think that's kind of cool.
They're just like I think I was just in love with them when I saw them. Board of Air, again another pun. One of them is ranging, as some of you will notice. In this case, we're going in a different direction, and the Djinn kind of play with a more flowy, high movement, let's say tactical play that the Court of Air is promoting, instead of the more, let's say, in-your-face, aggressive playstyle of Fire. So with the Air, we're going in for a little bit more elite, higher movement speeds, longer ranges on their shooting. And a good quality, low but very good quality melee attacks. Of course, as with Infernal branding, you will have similar rules. Let's say like the Etheric Marker, which is there to help you, project the power of your Court of Air spells further down the battlefield.
And then coming up, the Rakshasa. And I think
Rakshasa?
I don't know, they're all really beautiful, so it's hard to pick a favorite, but these are super cool. These are your monsters.
Wow.
Rakshasa. The dual kit. The monster. One's the fire, one's the air. Right? Interesting. I don't know. There's something weird about this one on the left and its head. The head little piece it's got. I don't know. Something's off. Feels off about that aesthetically. But I do like his face. So that cool staff here too. Oh shoot, they look like they have 4 arms and 4 swords. That's amazing. That's cool. I really like that one. The Bakasura. That is sweet. Now that I'm actually looking at it, yeah. I don't know. Something about this one feels off to me. I'm not sure why. What are they supposed to be? I can't. It's hard to read.
What to say? So these dual kit monster, the Raksasa Basakura and the Raksasa Ravanar. One being, if this was a blast to put to, I think I'm sure for the artist and for the creative part, but definitely from the rules part as well. When you delve deep into the history, into what these the Raksasas are, these malevolent beings. And you can find, represented by their special rules. One having
It's cleared up a little bit here, and it looks like these feet are like animal, like almost like tigerish feet. That's weird. I wonder if they're supposed to have lower bodies of like tigers or something, or panthers, or it definitely seems like a cat of some sort.
arrogance and the other one being hubris. One is there to hunt down and go after enemy characters. It's there to fight them head on, to challenge them to a duel and best them in any way that they can, inspired by the myths of Rome, the rich history of the Nexasus. And the other is called hubris, going after the same thing but for monsters. And each one, having their own niche of rules that each style, different style of
That's cool.
they prefer engaging the enemy with.
So on,
I like the monster hunter and monsters.
addressing one of the key things that came up immediately, which was, where are the tiger heads? There are tiger heads.
See, I was right. I could feel that those were tiger legs. So apparently, they're supposed to be the mythology behind them is something to do with cats, and half cat, half human, I think.
Genius me added them later. So they weren't ready at the time of showing. But there are definitely feline heads for the Rakshasas as well.
The
There are two
Rakshasas.
heads. And there will be now 2 heads on every monster as a matter of principle going forward, as my sales team has repeatedly hammered into me.
Chris, stop!
But the Rakshasas are actually very much the opposite of the ghouls. They are basically the demigods of the deep.
That's what they feel like.
Of the deep,
Demigods of some
what's called
sort.
Sea of Fire. And what is particularly terrifying about them is how on earth human corruption is getting that deep and that powerful that it can affect even beings this strong.
Human
And it
corruption,
takes an
huh?
entire. It has subverted the purpose of an entire troop type that I don't know if I can spoil or not. The warrior saints of the Sorcerer Kings, away from their
What?
original goal of policing the Sorcerer Kings into attempting to contain these basically rampant demigods that are slowly waking up deep in the elemental domains. So yes, lion heads and evil, bloodthirsty demigods.
Thomas, you have a question?
Yeah, this is a lore question about the Rakshasa. I was wondering, because I remember reading in Project 8 that they've actually affected humans, have interacted with them maybe for some time, and I was wondering, has the Old Dominion, maybe pre-fall, had any dealings with Rakshasa?
I can't actually reveal that yet because it's linked to a couple of very important in-game developments that we want to pace and gate.
I'll take that as a yes.
Conquest Jesus, Liam, you're up, baby.
Just question from the renders of the models there. I couldn't quite tell the one that has like holding the chain in one hand and the halberd in the other hand. Does that one also have 4 arms, or does that one just have 2 arms?
Yes. No, they both have 4 arms.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that either.
Great, thanks.
It only looked like I had 2. I'm glad he asked the question because it didn't seem like it had 2. It seemed like it only had, or it seemed like it had 2, not
Shut
4.
down that piece. Johan,
So-
while I'm fooling around my computer, please go ahead.
Yeah, actually, the question: will there be also characters coming out for in the living world of both the Dominion and City States?
He does have 2 arms.
I didn't
Look,
catch.
there it is. You can see the second hand holding the spear, halberd thing, whatever you want to call it. So but I don't see the second arm over here, so it must be hanging somewhere, like behind or something. I'm not sure where that other arm is.
The key word in that statement.
Me neither. I'm a bit stumped.
Can you ask it again, Johan? Johan, did we lose you?
He just asked if there was going to be characters in the living world for Old Dominion and City States.
Yes.
Yes, but the format now in the living world, if you've noticed, has changed. It doesn't focus around specific characters and follows exclusively them, but it has more of a short story approach. So yes, there will be stories that involve both those factions with obvious characters standing out from them, but it's not going to be character focused the way it was during the first large period of the living world, the one we call Book 1 of the living world.
Ooh, chariots.
And I want to note too.
Okay, hold on a second. These are freaking amazing. Wow. Scorpos and Para-Bellum. I'm not really sure, but I love the tongues coming out to be the anchor point for the lions pulling them. That is cool. And then it looks like he's got a freaking crossbow repeater up here. And then I'm not sure. This is almost like a harpoon on the other one. It looks like maybe. Wow. And then being led by lions. I'm sure they're not the fastest, but that's intimidating. And I definitely do like the spikes on the wheels coming out. It definitely has that feel of like Ben-Hur and the chariot races and stuff on there. These are amazing.
As I bring up the next faction to be shown, that this is not all of the Sorcerer things for 2024. This
is City State. So I was wondering, this has a different feel to it. This almost has like a Romanish, like a gladiator almost feel. And it's a City States, that's why. The City States has its own little theme going on, and this totally fits in with that. So I'm glad he said something, because I didn't notice it at first.
Things for March and April. Just March and April that we just showed you. So, yeah, baby.
That's a very exciting photo you're showing.
I love the
there.
lions. That's so cool.
Yes, it is. So with the coming City State Scorpios and Para-Bellum, we are introducing essentially what many of you are correctly saying. The basis for chariots. So chariot is its own unique, let's say,
wow.
Type.
Those are cool.
Now,
chariots.
mechanically, it does not create much let's say, doesn't have a lot of implications when it comes to play. It will be clarified to make sure that everything is clear. Ben White, no more 2-stand or minimal facing. Well, actually, this is considered a 1-stand, and this is one of the things that we're going to be making sure it's very clear. Essentially, consider it being, let's say, as if it was a monster, but essentially it has a rectangular base. So that's the difference with a few other.
That's interesting.
Rules to fully clarify these interactions. Other than that, it is a new troop type, and for the first time, you will see instead of cavalry boots, you will be finding a chariot.
Huh.
So the logic here is that the level to deploy a Scorpios or a Para-Bellum was beyond the means of most armies and most city states because the design specifications are so exacting. And the individual pieces were so expensive. So what one city state in particular tried was enticing the merchant houses to participate and create a sort of and they started a contest between the merchant houses over who would have the most impressive war machine. and they started competing on basically every front. You know, how well equipped the rider is, what the chassis looks like, and what, you know, how precise the machinery, and how they started funding the entire thing egregiously and over the top, until some smart Alec had the idea of putting lions on top of it to top the other guy who had, you know, horses. And eventually, of course, everybody had to have lion chariots.
I told you lion chariots are cool.
Sculpted the chassis and death-dealing machines on top, all pleasantly funded by the merchants of the city trying to show off against each other.
That's cool. I love that. A contest to show off to see who did the best.
Question time. You're going to unmute. A catalog to answer that question will be posted shortly.
Jorge, you're muted.
But you're muted. But there we go.
Okay, here we are. Thank you very much. So I was curious. So is it a single model minimum?
So yeah, the way that it's going to be played is that you can add to a regiment of these, but you're going to find changes to the army list to include the new type. Currently, it doesn't say that it is because it's we showed it for the first time here, right? But you're going to find that it's a chariot, and one of the things that come with the chariots is not that mechanically are very different in how they play, but the difference is that you can have one and you can add more. So it's the first time that you have a single stand, because regardless, you see two cavalry bases there, but for the purposes of a chariot, this is defined as one stand. So this is the first one stand model that is not a monster and can take more than one with it. Essentially, if you have, let's say, 3 chariots, you are looking at the same footprint as 6 stands of, let's say, anything else, right? So.
Okay.
That's cool.
And for First Blood, it's the same situation.
For First Blood, yeah, it would be the same. It would play similarly. In First Blood, yeah, you will be able to add. Although in First Blood, for this particular one, you might be more incentivized to use them in once.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Amazing job.
Thank you.
Chariots. Wow.
But we're not done because the Spires need some new stuff.
Spire's getting new stuff here. Leonine Avatara. So this is a cool new avatar. I do like it. It's a lion avatar, it looks like. That is a cool little quiver that it has. I really like that. And the bow looks very aesthetic to like the Marksman clone. And then what are these drones? These Desolation drones. These are cool. I like these little heads. They're a little weird, but they're kind of cool. I wish these were the first drones that they had out for them. Ooh, they look like they got cannons or something. Bio cannons.
I know it's a bit of a delay. Once I go to full screen, I can't see you, so you guys have to talk because I can't tell when it posts or doesn't post. I can't see my own screen.
I love it.
Oh, good. So you can see it. Hurrah.
So yeah, here you see it. Leonine Avatara and Desolation drones.
These Desolation drones do look cool. They are weird though. Uh-oh, where'd
I
they
love
go?
those little Desolation drones. They're so good.
That
Uh-oh.
went really fast. Sorry about that. I don't know why the screen went crazy. We don't have pictures for it. The Lineage Highborn is actually going to be called the Lineage Prideborn, and that was a fun little time we had there on this. And Leo, maybe you want to talk about how the Lineage Prideborn is going to differ from the Highborn.
So, I think Spire players, as we have been going through updates with Spires, you would have noticed in the past that we have been increasingly, let's say, added ways to customize your character. Take, let's say, Lineage Highborns or High Clone Executors and turn them, let's say, into and equip them in ways that would more closely resemble other regiments. And one of them, let's say, was the Lineage Highborn, with all of these, different upgrades that would make them into a ranged variant. But then, of course, the next step that we really wanted to show and portray, that you have your typical Lineage Highborn modeled after the Avatara, and now you have your Lineage Highborn that is there to fight alongside and with the Leonine Avatara. Fast, range support. It
Cool.
is there to take the playstyle of the Leonine Avatara and just allow you to
Leonine Avatara.
fighting alongside them with
Leonine.
their own unique special rule and abilities. Will serve them.
No, the screen, guys.
It's going to be an exciting piece. I have not seen it yet. I don't. Probably someone in the office has. Salvador, you've seen it, right?
Yes, expect an Egyptian twist to it.
Ooh, nice. I love Egyptian twists. I may have to get this
Whoa.
one.
All right, you heard that here first.
Ooh, I'm excited.
It's fascinating. So the concept behind the Prideborn is
Prideborn.
that
I'm gonna like that.
some lineage elders become so jaded with the senseless slaughter of inferior races on the battlefield while they're in there in an impervious Avatara suit, that they started looking for a different way to entertain themselves. And
always have
one
to
of the
look for
most
that.
popular ways has been to basically turn it from slaughter into a hunt, and to feel the thrill of the hunt, and to almost eschew the senseless aggression for like finesse and how well you execute the takedown rather than the sheer number of takedowns. And this mentality obviously propagated among the lower ranks and led to the rise of the Leonine Avatar as a whole.
It's going to be an exciting. That's going to be an exciting spring for Spires as well.
Sounds like it.
Obviously
There's lots of cool
kicked it
stuff
off
coming
with
out for it.
Seedbreaker, and then the A-Bomb coming this month, the Leonine Avatara, the Prideborn, and the Desolation drones are going to make it a very, very exciting spring for everyone. And then we have, you'll see there, and I know we aren't really talking too much about it yet, but that will be a surprise for people, the 5th anniversary art prints. Those are going to debut. The first one will debut at Adepticon, so we'll have them out in March. And we'll talk more about those on the next happy hour, but I want you to be aware that indeed they're coming. And then 2-player starter sets. We are going to have, you'll see them shortly, City States versus Sorcerer Kings will come up as a 2-player starter set in May.
Nice.
And the reason we're doing that is
because
we
people
wanna
want the
make
new
sure
ones.
that the 1-player Sorcerer Kings set and the 2-player, both for City States and Sorcerer Kings, is very different in makeup, so that they could work together. So you will see more about both of those coming shortly. Whoa, what is it doing to me? The Army Support Pack Wave 5, you guys all know what they are. They're an update. Your old ones are not outdated. They're just, there's new stuff to add, so we're adding it. You don't have to buy new ones, but we want them to be available in case your dog ate your certain command cards or what have you. That happens more than...
See, I need to get some more of these shirts. I gotta get some of these 5th anniversary shirts.
Emails. How many of you write in that your dogs have eaten the command cards? It's staggering. So you guys are going to have to keep these away from your dogs or come up with new answers.
That's
new
funny.
excuses for trying to get replacements, one or the other.
I like that V behind there. What's that V behind there?
Say
Oh,
that
5.
is true.
5. I feel
Within
dumb now.
30 seconds of me getting, I think it was my Avatara, yeah. I set it on the table, I take them out, I'm like, these are awesome, and I turn, and my dog, a Corgi, has gotten up on the table to murder my command card, so they're not lying. It does happen.
You all owe Hunter for when the next time you write.
Stop making your command cards taste like bacon.
So we are bringing back a 5th anniversary.
All right, so that's
t-shirts, and I know you're going to say.
Okay, it looks like we're just going on into some more products and stuff like that, which we're not going to get into. I might mainly want to do the Sorcerer King reaction. Yeah, that's all other stuff. So that's what I was kind of focused on. So thank you for joining me for this episode of the Resinator's Conquest podcast. This was my reaction to the release of the Sorcerer King information, the happy hour and everything that we just went through. So there were some other updates other than the Sorcerer King, but that's what I was focused on. So, all right, thanks for joining me.